Hey there, I want to show you a couple different ways you can set up office hours for Zoom. The first is if you just have open office hours and you want to just put them on your calendar and allow students to drop in on specific days. If you're only teaching one class, you could do schedule a new meeting, rename this to office hours, and then you could set it up as either a recurring event. So if your office hours are on Wednesdays from 4 to 6, you could say 4 o'clock for 2 hours. And then you could set it up as a recurring meeting that meets weekly, Wednesdays, and then you could schedule it out until December so that there's links on the calendar for the entire semester. I encourage you, if you're going to do this for office hours, to set up a waiting room. That way, if you're talking to students about a grade issue, which is FERPA, you can block anybody coming into the discussion by having that waiting room. The waiting room can be just a simple screen that says, please hold, your instructor's waiting for you. Or you can actually log into clemson.zoom.us and go to your settings, and there's an option here for waiting room where you can actually customize your waiting room. Oops. So we can set that up. We're not going to record this because this is office hours. If you need to set up an alternative host, maybe a teaching assistant, you can click on the drop down menu there and you can enter in their email address. And it's always going to be at clemson.edu, even if it's student, because all the Clemson accounts are set up at clemson.edu. No at g.clemson.edu accounts exist. So then you would click save. I'm going to take her off. And I'm going to show you that it actually creates a whole series of meetings for the entire semester every Wednesday from 4 to 6. Now, if that's not really what you want to do, you just want to create a meeting space that you can meet with students no matter what day you're having office hours in case you change days, you can click delete and you can delete all of the occurrences. The other option I recommend is to either use your personal meeting link or a NoFixed Time link. So I'm going to show you both of those. The advantage of using the personal meeting link, again, I'm going to go back to clemson.zoom.us and we're going to go to our profile page. And on your profile page, you have a personal meeting ID that you can use continuously. It's one meeting space that's yours. You own it. It belongs to you. You can brand it by clicking on customize. And change it from a number to a customized URL. So it will always start with the first prefix, https://clemson.zoom.us/my/, and then the part that you can customize is that last part. So instead of it being a meeting number like this that they would have to enter, you could change it to a customized URL. A lot of people will just put their username or, teacher's meeting, something like that. You can brand it to however you want. I always had one in Adobe Connect called Go Tigers, so that is my custom URL for my Zoom personal link. Once you take ownership of it, that URL is yours, and nobody else can have the same URL. Okay, so that's your personal one. Let's talk about that if you were setting it up for office hours. The reason that you might want to do either this option of the personal link or the NoFixed Time link is that you have a standard meeting space that you can continuously use for office hours. So I'm going to create office hours. And I'm going to skip right past date and time and duration because I'm going to click recurring meeting and there's an option under here called NoFixed Time. So as soon as I choose that, you'll see that all of those things go away. Okay, the only thing that remains is the time zone, and that's just to indicate to the students we're on Eastern Standard Time. Then if you scroll down, you'll see that you can use your personal meeting ID. So if you want to use that branded URL, you can do that, and you can put that branded URL in your syllabus, and you can say, this is the link we're going to use for office hours. You can also choose use personal meeting space here and click save. And then the way that this works is if I needed to have office hours at the exact same time and space for all of my classes. So I have 5 classes, and these are my office hours for all 5 classes. I can set it up here, and then I can go into back to my dashboard, and I can go into another course and go to Zoom, and I can do the same thing. So I can schedule that, and I can call it office hours. Again, I'm not doing date or time. Clicking recurring, choosing no fixed time, and I'm using my personal meeting ID again. Okay, so I'm going to save that. This is the only way that you could make that space consistent across your courses there, where it can have the same meeting ID. Okay, because you're not allowed to schedule 2 meetings at the same time and space in Zoom. So if you have this no fixed time option, then you can use that with your personal meeting ID to have a branded space that you can use for all office hours for your students. Now, I didn't show you this to you in the previous course. I'm going to show it to you now. If you click on Zoom, you'll see that there's a office hours link. It shows up one time, and it will be there for the entire semester until you remove it from your course. And the same thing goes with that first course. So I'll go back to that first course, go to Zoom, and you'll see I've got my recurring meetings set up for office hours. Same meeting ID as the one in the other course, but it doesn't have a dedicated time and space to it. So it can be started at any point in time. So if you needed to just jump in and have a conversation with students, you can use that office hours space to do that, as long as you haven't scheduled any other meetings with your personal meeting ID. Okay, so that is a way that you can use it with a branded URL. So the branded URL comes from your personal link. So mine would be Go Tigers. So I can take that and put it in my syllabus and say, this is my office hours link. And then the option that allows you to do that and share it between multiple courses using the Zoom integration, that is going to be called the no fixed time option. So I'm going to scroll back up. No fixed time, and that's under recurrence. So where you select daily, weekly, monthly, there's an option for no fixed time. Now, this is a very cool option that I found when I was asked by one of my faculty members. How can I make it so that I can have them sign up for office hours so that I know that they're coming, so that I don't just sit there for hours on end? I am going to take my branded URL, copy that link. Again, you can do the same thing with that meeting URL that you set up for office hours. I'm going to go back to my Zoom course, and I am going to go to my calendar. All right, then I'm going to click on create a new event, and I'm going to choose appointment group. Okay, I'm going to call this office hours sign up, and the location is going to be that branded URL that I just created. I'm going to select which courses I want this in. I want this in my comm and my comm. Okay, and then I'm going to set up those dates and times that I want my class to be able to come for office hours. So if I'm going to set up Wednesdays from 4:00 p.m. to 6:00 p.m. Okay, and then I'll just grab that next Wednesday. We'll go forward to the 2nd and to the 9th. And I'm just going to keep adding the days for the semester till I get all the days in there that I need. This is the longer process. I wish there was like a bulk option, but you'll see that this is actually a bulk option within itself in just a minute here. So I'm going to do it through the month of September. So say that I did this for the entire semester. So every Wednesday for the entire semester. And then I am just going to copy this and paste it down for the times. Okay, now since I'm having students sign up for these time slots, right, I'm going to divide them into 30-minute increments. So I'm going to click go, and this is going to take those dates and it's going to put not just one reservation slot for them to reserve, but 4 for that day. So I'm going to click go, and you'll see it goes 4, 4:30, 5, 5:30, all for the 26th. Okay. I'm going to limit the sign up time for one user so that only one student can come at a time. And then I'm going to click publish. When I do that, it puts all these sign up slots here for my students. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what it looks like from the student perspective. Give me just a second to get that set up. I wanted you guys to be able to see what it looked like from the student perspective. So you'll notice that this is actually a Windows computer versus my normal Mac. I just wanted you to be able to see the difference. I'm going to refresh this because I've been logged in for quite a while just to make sure. Okay, so we can see my normal class meeting times as a student. I'm going to click Find Appointment on my calendar, and I can choose one of my speech classes. And you can see that there are the sign up sheets right there. So sign up, sign up, sign up. I can choose one of these time slots. It's got the class calendar name. It's got the location. So I'm just going to put, I need to speak to you about my speech. And then I'll click reserve. So now if I turn off the appointment or close the appointment time slots, you'll see that it adds it directly to the student's calendar. And when they click on it the day that they have that meeting, they'll be able to grab that link and jump right into your meeting space without having to search for it. It's on their calendar to remind them, and it has that link that is easy to remember because it's that branded URL from my personal link. Okay. Again, this can be one of those no time to find links as well, where it just has a meeting number. That's completely up to you and how you want to set it up for your course. So now I'm back to the instructor view. I'm going to refresh my screen. And I'm going to see that that office hours time slot is filled. And I can see that it is filled by this particular student who signed up for it. The comment that they made, and that slot is no longer available. Okay. So if I need to remind the student another time that they have a meeting with me, I can message the student and it will allow me to send a message to them straight from this calendar. Another option would be is if I have to cancel these appointments, I can very quickly go to my calendar and say, I'm sorry, I can't meet with you today. I'm out sick. Please see my calendar for other available dates and times. So very easy. It allows you to have the students sign up for times to meet with you. It's a great option if you're using those no defined time slots or your personal meeting URL where It's open to all your students from all of the sections, and you just need a way for them to register to let you know that they're coming to office hours. All right. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. These are great questions that are coming in, and I'll continue to research them as long as you're sending them to me. Thank you.